Hey everyone, this is Cleofe back to you. This podcast deep dive is on limitless success through faith and action. I recently came across some interesting insights about achieving success, especially when it comes to creating wealth. It emphasizes the importance of having a limitless mindset. For instance, it uses Elon Musk as an example of resilience and shows how creating value is directly linked to financial rewards. Now, let's move on to the deep dive.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a look at some really interesting sources. They explore something quite powerful.
It's about the connection between, well, your mindset, your faith, and how you tackle goals that might seem, impossible.
Exactly. And we've got this article, Embracing Limitless Success Through Faith and Action. Our mission today is really to unpack its core ideas.
Yeah, how to break free from those limits we sometimes feel are there.
Okay, so where does the article kick things off? It links wealth creation, maybe controversially for some, directly to value creation.
Right. The basic idea is the more genuine value you put out into the world, the more abundance, let's say, tends to come back. Simple concept, but deep.
And they use an example that most people will probably know, Elon Musk.
Yeah, specifically his early SpaceX days. Remember those first rocket launches? Several pretty big public failures.
Oh, absolutely. You couldn't miss him.
But the article highlights his, resilience. He just didn't accept failure as the end point.
It wasn't until the fourth try, was it? The fourth launch finally worked.
That's the one. And that success, that persistence, led directly to that huge NASA contract, like $1.6 billion.
Wow. So the source holds that up as a kind of testament to not giving in and maybe more importantly, creating massive value by solving these incredibly hard problems.
Exactly. And then what's really fascinating is how the article pivots and connects this to an Islamic perspective.
Yeah, so
It brings in the concept of Allah's omnipotence, God's absolute power. It references the Quranic description, where Allah simply commands be and, it is.
That's a profound statement. It emphasizes that ultimately nothing's impossible for the divine. It kind of challenges our whole notion of limits.
It does. And the source connects this by saying, look, any ability or strength we have as humans, it ultimately flows from that divine power.
So understanding that changes the game. It's not just about my limited power, but potentially tapping into something limitless.
That seems to be the core idea presented, aligning yourself with that potential.
Okay, but how do we bridge that?
Yeah.
That huge concept of divine power down to our everyday struggles and goals. What's the mechanism the source points to?
Well, it focuses heavily on a specific verse from the Qur'an, the one that says, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves.
Okay, so that's the direct link. Our internal state, our mindset, affects our external reality. Is that how this source frames it?
Precisely. The argument is, if you see yourself as limited maybe by your past or what people say or just circumstances, you actually kind of create those boundaries.
You make your own cage, in a way.
Sort of. But the flip side is, by changing what's inside your beliefs, your focus, you can potentially unlock different outcomes, different possibilities.
That sounds great, but how do you actually do that? Does the article give concrete steps?
It does. It offers 3 practical steps for building this limitless mindset grounded in that faith perspective.
Okay, step 1.
First, tackle negative self-talk head-on. You know that voice, I can't do this, it's impossible. When it pops up, you actively replace it.
Replace it with what? Just positive thinking.
More specific than that, according to the source, replace it with a truth drawn from faith. The article suggests the affirmation, with Allah's help, everything is possible.
So it's about consciously shifting your internal narrative based on that belief in a higher power.
Exactly. Redirecting your focus from limitation to possibility anchored in faith.
Okay, makes sense. What's the second step?
The second one is about your environment, the people around you. It quotes a hadith, a saying from Prophet Muhammad, a man follows the way of his close friend.
Right, the whole you are who you hang out with idea.
Pretty much. The source advises seeking out visionaries, people who think big, who encourage growth. Avoid those who might just reinforce your own limiting beliefs. Your social circle matters.
Okay, inner voice, outer circle. And the third step, you said it was bold.
It is quite bold. The article encourages you to literally 10x your current goals.
10 times. Just like that. That sounds potentially overwhelming.
It does sound huge. But the point, as presented in the source, isn't just the massive number itself. It's about stretching your mind.
Stretching how?
forcing yourself to even consider achieving something on that scale, believing it could be possible, especially with divine assistance. The article suggests this exercise breaks mental ruts, expands your vision, and frankly fuels way more motivation than just aiming for small, incremental improvements.
Interesting. So it's a mindset tool as much as a goal-setting tactic.
That seems to be the idea, and the article concludes by noting that many successful Muslim entrepreneurs often embody these principles implicitly or explicitly: the resilience, the value focus, the faith grounding, that drive to push past perceived limits.
So the core message seems to be, the biggest limits are the ones we put on ourselves.
That's the strong claim the source makes, yeah. Aligning your inner world, beliefs, thoughts, even your friends, with that concept of limitless divine potential isn't just spiritual. It's presented as a practical path to achieving more.
So wrapping this up, what's the takeaway for you listening? This source puts forward a powerful idea. The main limits you face might just be the ones you've accepted internally. Embracing this different mindset, supported by faith and these kinds of practical steps, could open up possibilities you haven't even considered. So here's a final thought to maybe mull over from this dive. If you really truly believe nothing was impossible for you with divine help, what's one goal you have right now that you dare to make 10 times bigger, starting today?